Hello and welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Last session, our party members were tasked on trying to retrieve something of Quincy's that
And also find that
didn't
merchant.
make it to him on
The
time.
merchant and the merchant.
When you guys went to the merchant's last known location, all you guys were able to find was a toppled over cart with deep, long gashes and a trail of feathers and blood leading deeper into the plains. You guys managed to find the merchant with an arm missing in a den hoard, along with the chest that you supposedly think belongs to Quincy. But on your way back, you guys were stopped and attacked by a gypsosphinx. You guys tried to fight it off, proved to be too powerful. Sam almost died, but
He
luckily
got real close.
his god intervened and used up that magic advantage that he gave Sam for the day. So he no longer has advantages for the day.
Loki just went all, "You got the touch."
He got that special touch.
And then as you guys try to escape, the gypsosphinx followed you guys. Granny managed to summon a beholder that managed to hold off the sphinx a little bit.
I'd say it did a bit more than just hold it off.
And as it started to chase after you, a stray axe just came out of nowhere and got lodged into the gypsosphinx's neck, killing it. And from the darkness in the direction that this axe was thrown, a party of millipedes approaches you guys.
Militars, or that's what they call them.
Militars.
And scared the hell out of Sam. But then it turns out, but then we remember, the leader was just thanking us for getting rid of the Sphinx.
While Sam is pocketing its eyeballs.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. You pulled a Roxy on him.
The Militar approaches. One of the Militars, who you assume is the leader, approaches.
Did you forget its voice?
Looking over the party, is like, "Which one, leader?"
Sam,
I don't think we ever. Now that I think about it, I don't think we ever decided on it being decided on that.
Samael just pushes Tenethel.
Granny will tentatively
it's
No,
just like
Samael just literally sneaks behind Tenethel and pushes him forward.
like Wally, like Wally.
Okay, I filmed it.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's Tenethel, definitely Tenethel.
He's just like, hi. The Militar looks at Tanithil up and down. It's hard to make out what expression this Militar is making, since he has, the face of a bug.
Bugs don't make good facial expressions.
But the aura kind of seems like it's a bit skeptical. It's like,
and maybe curious.
Yeah. The Militar then looks at the rest of the party and is like, "You invite big feast as thanks," he said as he points to the gypsosphinx.
Oh, okay.
That reminds me. I think since Ari isn't here, I think LaFane, I think you're the one who has the chest, don't you?
She does.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get in that thing the whole time.
Would Samael know if you can even eat a gypsosphinx, like a regular person?
Like the Militar's like, he's okay. He tastes like chicken.
You want to roll a nature check to see if you do?
Sure. Well,
Make sure.
let's see how that goes.
Yeah, Sam is definitely the guy who's like, you can't eat a lion. Don't worry, it tastes like cheeky.
You mind if I just roll using Beyond?
Sure.
All right, let's see. That would be a 13.
Any modifiers, or is that total?
I'd say he uses guidance on himself too. So let's. I have to roll that in chat because I don't know how to do that on Beyond.
Frank.
So that is a 17.
17. All right. Mm,
Don't die, Jesus.
sorry about that. You've never really heard anywhere if you can or can't eat a gypsosphinx.
I mean, it's made of meat, so
Um,
probably.
but you do know that they don't like have any form of poisonous sac or anything suspicious.
Oh, venom.
Like,
Um,
no acidic gallbladder.
At this point, Samael just kind of shrugs at Tenethel. Like he just I imagine Tenethel's looking back at everyone, so Samael just kind of shrugs.
Say yes.
I like to imagine, what would the Goliath be doing? Is he hungry? I can imagine after all. I can imagine after all.
He's unconscious on Granny's shoulder.
Yeah,
I can imagine he could use a rest and
and then in the other arm I have his arm.
I could imagine. Didn't the Sphinx eat its arm?
Or did he get eaten? I don't have his arm.
His arm got eaten.
His arm got eaten. I don't have his arm. Okay.
Should
I like to
I
imagine.
heal? Samael is just seeing this guy for the kind of the first time, really. So he looks over. Should I heal him?
I did.
He does.
To wrap a cord around his arm when we first got.
No, it was your shawl.
Oh yeah, it was the shawl. Yeah, I managed to wrap it tightly around the stump to stem the bleeding. But yes, we really shouldn't. We really don't have time for a feast. We should probably get this man to a doctor.
If anything, I think this guy could use a good meal and some rest.
Samael just kind of backs up 2 steps, lays a hand on him, and then just his hand glows really bright, and he heals him for 4 hit points.
That manages to stop the bleeding.
I like to imagine if he was alive, dude, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. But here's a question, and his arm is bleeding. Is this normal?
Samael, seeing that didn't really do the job, also uses Cure Wounds, I guess.
Well, no, Locke did say that 4 hit points did stop the bleeding.
Yeah, but he's trying to heal the wound up so it doesn't get infected or anything. So that's
okay.
8.
Yeah,
that's 8. That's 8 points of healing, plus the 4, so 12.
I was trying to finish, but I kept getting interrupted.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, they talk over us.
Interrupt.
But go ahead.
You managed to stop the bleeding and start to close the wound, but not enough. So yeah.
So he's going to also use Cure Wounds then. So that's another 8 equaling 12 points. So yeah.
He's all good.
Then he's going to spend a sorcery point to get 1 spell slot back because he's running awfully low.
I guess then, are we gonna go with the Militars and just rest up and have a meal? I mean, I'm fine with it.
So Samael's gonna lean forward, lay one hand on Samael. Not Samael. He's gonna lay a hand on Tenethel's shoulder and just lean and whisper, "Do we actually know if they eat people? I don't know anything about these things."
He leans over and whispers back, "I've only heard whispers and rumors about these people. I don't entirely know."
Ah. So should I go full bullshit or?
Let's play along with them for now, and if they ever start doing anything to us suspiciously, we leave.
Ah, okay, so save the bullshit for later. Understood.
I sent you an idea.
What?
I sent you idea.
Right. So
I mean, I
did you guys
guess we're
all,
going. I'm up for it. LaFane, what about you?
Kind of leery, but at the same time, they did finish off the thing, and I mean, if they're hungry, they've got access to food right there. That it's a lot less fuss than killing us for it.
And plus, they are offering to share it.
Yeah, it's like, so I mean, if they're hungry, they've already got access to food. So unless they're going for something else, there's no.
I like to imagine also Steve is like, since he's never seen a Militar before, he's like doodling them in his like journal. Oh, so many legs.
Alright.
So we are going to the feast.
Yeah, I guess we'll follow him.
Granny will still, have espresso with her, making sure he's all right.
Oh, right, his name was... I forgot his name was Espresso. Is his dad named Cappuccino?
And his great-grandfather is Java.
Samael just sort of shrugs at all this and goes to get the cart. And as he's walking, he's using prestidigitation to clean the massive amount of blood off his clothes.
And Espresso's great-great-grandchild is Caramel Macchiato.
So as you go to get the cart, you see that the Kieran are actually on their way to meet you with the cart, and they sort of meet you halfway.
Oh, well, that just saves me a bunch of time. Thank you, cousins. He just sort of hops up and just sits in the side front seat.
I help Granny get Espresso into the cart.
Yeah. It's best if he's, has some space.
Samael is gonna lean over the edge of the cart, like he's gonna stand up, grab the edge, and just kind of lean over the side and look over at LaFane. Do you feel like driving? I've got to clean myself off, and it's gonna take a while.
Kenneth hops into the driver's seat.
Oh, well, hello there.
You could have given LaFane a chance to speak.
She tends to be kind of quiet, so.
Samael just shrugs and sits down. Well, that's work too, and just sits there and the way this looks is he just literally flicks his fingers at his clothes and like a whole square foot just cleans off.
And with that, the Kieran start to follow the Militars back to their camp, which is a relatively decent-sized camp, I'd say.
50,000 of them.
No, I'm gonna say half the size of the Shire.
In population or just general size of the camp?
Population.
Population.
So a few hundred?
I'm gonna say around 50.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. I was thinking to myself, I could get a hefty amount of money from Waterdeep by reporting this. They're not going to kill them, but they do want to know.
And as you guys get there, it looked like a few of the older militars are starting to set up a spit roast over a giant fire pit. Another of the I guess you call them hunter warrior militars grabs the Gypsosphinx body, drags it over, slices it open, and starts cleaning it out.
How big are these guys? Approximately? Lexi, leave Sugar alone.
I'm gonna say if they lay down on their back and are completely stretched out, 20 feet.
Okay, so they're pretty chunky. They're pretty big.
They're big.
They're big. Okay.
Something just occurs to Samael, and he leans off out of the car and looks over at Granny. Quick question: what's happened to that beholder you summoned?
Oh, he disappear in about 5 more minutes. Don't worry.
Nah, at this point, it'd just be 1 more minute.
Yeah, that's item stats say the summoned creature will leave it will stick around until dispelled manually by the user or 10 minutes have passed. So
Samael just nods relieved. Oh well, that's good. I don't think we're ready to handle a beholder even at full health.
Alright. Are you guys gonna stay in the cart or get out?
Samael is going to stay in the front seat and just kind of just chill there, using that as a resting point so he can watch them cook.
I think Granny's thinking it's probably best someone stay with, the guy that just lost his arm and is still unconscious. So she's gonna stay with Espresso.
Okay. Eric, Lafane, Religus, what are you two doing?
Have we made it to the camp yet?
Yes.
We are.
Yeah, Samael is currently relaxing in the front seat while everyone else is doing their own thing.
Also, don't get slippy with me, Locke.
Granny's in the back watching over Coffee Person.
I guess Religus will. I guess he'd stick near the cart too, just to be safe.
Okay, and what's the environment around the camp?
Basically same as always. It's a big wide plain, but it looks like from the look around the camp, the barrier of the camp, it looks like they started planting trees. So like they're teeny tiny little things like freshly planted trees would look like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then avoiding what they've obviously just put in for themselves, I think I would try and look around in the areas nearby for maybe a few herbs to help Granny with what she's working on with the espresso.
All right. So then I'm gonna need you to roll a nature check.
Nature. Let me just check. Oh, okay. It decided to say that my attempt to do it is not working. There it goes. So I rolled a 17.
All right. So you hopped out of the car and decide to roam around to try and see if you can find any healing herbs. I'm gonna say you look around for a bit and manage to find some angel hair leaves, which is known to stop infections.
Good.
While she's doing that, can Samael begin crushing up the Sphinx eyes into his ink?
Go ahead.
To his what?
His ink for his journal.
Yep.
What
All right.
do those do specifically? The eyes.
He's just trying to add magical properties to the ink so that he can start making a ritual book.
I thought you wanted to replace your current eyes with the Sphinx eyes.
A little too crazy. So I talked with Locke, and Locke agreed that it would be a little easier just to make a ritual book with them.
Locke doth decree.
Even for you.
Yeah, lock doth decree.
But so yes, he's gonna pretty much just add magical properties to his ink and begin writing down some of the ritual spells that he knows inside.
Be in the middle of writing one of said spells, you start to you feel this weird presence in front of you.
His eyes just kind of not that he doesn't actually look up, but his eyes look up, so his head stays still, and he just sees who it is.
Like, his head stays still, and the eyes will
Maybe
roll
opposite of it.
360 degrees all the way through the back of his head.
No, he just kind of just looks up without moving his head.
No. It's you have the Patrick Star eyes. Nice place you got here.
Oh my
You
god!
glance up and you come face to face with a young female Militar, and she is like an inch away from your face.
He continues writing and then just says, "How are you doing there? You all right?"
You look funny.
Aye. Glowing eyes, burning red hair tends to do that.
I like it.
He chuckles a bit. He looks over at Snow. Be nice to the young thing.
What's your name?
My name is Samael. It's a pleasure to meet you. And what's be your name?
Avro.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Avro.
It's just, my name is Incoherent Bug Noises.
Yeah. Oh, where are my manners? My name is. Okay, let me guess. Your name is. Oh no, that's my brother.
Using prestidigitation, he stops his writing for a second and he kind of just creates a small little music box and tosses it over to her. It's only gonna last. About about 6 seconds, but it's gonna play a small little tune for
She's
her.
enthralled by it.
And just to add to it for her, he uses minor illusion to make just an image of a couple dancing spin around it. He's assuming she's a child, even though her size she's pretty massive. He's assuming it's a child.
She goes to try and eat it. She goes to try and eat it.
He just kind of laughs
that's
a little
cute.
bit.
Like she's like, musical food.
Just because he finds it funny, he flicks his finger using prestidigitation to create a delicious taste in her mouth.
Like she can't bite into it, but it tastes like it. But she licks it, and it tastes like ice cream. Like, ooh.
Dinner and a show.
He just laughs. He just laughs to himself and just continues writing.
I take it. Is she gonna check out the rest of us?
When the music box dissipates, she scurries off and then hops into the back and just stares at Religus.
So,
Hello.
She's just intently staring, not saying anything.
Stare
what do
back
you
and
do?
don't
Like,
say a word.
what are you
Assert
doing
your
there?
dominance in a staring
What do you- what-
contest.
Gertrude, shut up. Let me talk. This is on me, not you. Like it's just like, what are you staring at? Focus. And she's like, focusing.
You have weird skin.
You have a weird face.
No, that's rude.
I was trying to do the scene from Rango. Like, that's a funny looking shirt. That's a fun looking dress.
You got funny looking eyes. You got funny looking face.
Face. But what if like one of my rats like, what if like the leader of the rats like is on my top of my head and he looks at her like interesting as to like the rest of the animals I have.
She starts to get closer to the rat.
Like the rat actually doesn't back out. He does like a karate move, like. Wah!
I didn't know you carried food in your hat.
And like Relic to me, he's like, "That is not food."
You sure?
Yes, you want food?
I mean, we have food cooking, but I is hungry.
He pull Relic is like, are there like rations or like snacks in the cart?
Yeah.
What if Religus wants to look? I want to see if I can find her a pastry. Like, what do I have to roll to try to look for a pastry? Like investigation?
No, because rations don't have pastries. It's literally like what bread, dried jerky, like.
Okay, fine. I'll just roll to see what's the most tasty thing in the rations that she would like.
Okay.
All right, that's roll for investigation.
Only a D6.
Oh, wait, D6. Okay. Plus investigation.
No, a D6.
All right, just asking. Jeez. Nat one.
You pull out some of the dried jerky.
Do you like meat? Do you like seasoned meat?
I like meat. Never had it seasoned.
Like she takes a nibble and she really likes how the spices are, so she gobbles it down like Zoidberg. That's succulent feast. Who's she gonna approach next, Steve or LaFane? Oh wait, no, LaFane's away from the cart.
Yeah, the thing's getting.
So who's she gonna approach next, Steve or Gertrude?
I think she's gonna go up to Gertrude.
Granny's gonna be, like rummaging around, seeing if there's any like herbs that'll act as like painkillers in her pouches or anything.
Once Samael is done writing his ritual book, he's gonna start playing his harmonica for the bug people.
Getting some music going.
Meanwhile,
This is a song. This is a sad song. Oh, my baby done left me.
No, he's
Yeah.
gonna toss out small minor illusions of sparks and stuff for them because he's bored, so you might as well make a party atmosphere. Is that a performance?
To Gertrude's back.
Just kind of tenses up.
Hey, please don't. I'm trying to care for this injured man. Please get off.
Ah, but you're big and climbable, and I like that.
Why don't we just see her now nomming on Gertrude's horns, like?
I can feel that. and It's strange. Please
Does she get distracted by Samael playing?
She climbs off.
Do you have any? I'm not familiar with your people. Do you have anything that would act as a painkiller for when this man wakes up? Because he's
What
just
is
lost
pain?
an arm today.
She's just like, what is pain?
Nah, they probably have.
I
We
know.
do have an herb garden, so we might have some herbs there.
How me know? Me smart, cause Mama taught me. Is she gonna approach Steve next?
You get me, sir.
Okay. She then scurries off. She scurries off and heads to the herb garden where LaFane is now and starts picking herbs.
Well, LaFane, you gonna interact with her?
I mean, she seems like she's kind of set on what she's doing. So unless she, does anything,
mean-
I'm gonna. I told you, mine's kind of quiet.
Meanwhile, they finished cleaning and skinning the Gypsosphinx. They have they currently have the hide tied up and set up for tanning and drying and that whole process. curing, and then they just shoved the giant stick through the gypso sphinx, and now have it set up on the rotisserie spit. Doesn't look like they're adding any kind of seasoning or flavoring to it.
That was truly horrifying to watch.
If only anyone got any herbs or spices?
Well, I do. Granny's preoccupied, so she's going to throw her pouch of herbs to someone else who knows how to cook, who has basic cooking knowledge.
Like she just randomly throws it and it hits Steve. Like,
Well, Samael does, but at the same time, he also can just magic flavor into his food.
Yeah, but that's not as fun.
yeah.
Tanatho reaches over and yoinks the
What? It's a good thing. It's a good thing Barry stayed behind. Otherwise, he'd probably drizzle that thing with jelly.
He then heads over, starts talking to what he assumes is the head cook of this whole operation, and basically manages to persuade. The military.
Man, I could have a good time. What's up?
Meanwhile, back at the cart, the Minotaur girl comes back, hands Granny the dried herbs,
Thank you.
and then goes over to Steve and just starts staring at his journal.
Oh, would you like to see my stories?
Is it food?
No.
Look like food.
Like she's drooling. Like Steve just backs away. It's not food. Fuck.
Looks like food. Sorry, my sister keeps interrupting.
No worries. Like Steve backs away. It's not food.
She gets closer to the journal.
He backs up.
Just tell her it's a bunch of stories. Read her a story.
He did say it. He did say that.
But she is dead set on it being food.
Cue another chasing like the knoll.
I mean, Sam probably has some leftovers from the deer he killed like 2 days ago and cooked.
Like just in the background while everyone's talking about the food, you just see Steve like trying to walk away from the Bellatar girl who keeps trying to snatch at his journal.
And soon there's a large roar that came from the village leader, who starts talking in Militarian.
Military. I love how unsure you sounded with yourself, like Militarian.
Just like a secty noises sound like.
I'm guessing like it's a bunch of chittering. Like,
can Sam roll insight to try to see why he's yelling like that?
Sure, you can try.
Really just.
That would be a 23.
Alright, you follow his what you assume to be his line of sight, looking directly at Avro, who skids to a stop and has that sheepish I've done goof look that
I didn't do anything.
little girls do, and she slowly walks up to the
aww.
So Samael is going to take a silver coin out of his pocket, cast light on it, and change the color to gold and flick it towards her. So now that gold coin shines for 20 feet is a shiny golden light for her. She's a kid. She deserves something shiny.
She just stares at it.
I'd say the color actually shifts from like gold to silver and back and around.
She is just marveling at it.
Samael just yells over, "It's yours! Enjoy!"
The guy, the Militar who is the clan leader who yelled at her, walked up to Tanithel and was like, "I am sorry for my daughter's behavior." This one seems to speak the most like
Common.
like this one seems fluent and common.
It's all right. She's just a child. I remember when I was a child, I got into all sorts of trouble.
Anyway, the meal is done. We now are free to feast.
Samael's gonna hold off for a moment to see how they feast. Is it like a swarm where they all just rip it apart? Is it like a very like do they cut it up? I have questions.
The leader,
like in Sam's Mon, you see like a fancy like wrestler like da, 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 like carefully cutting the meat, and then when it comes to real life, they're all like,
if Gunga was here, he would by all means just tear into that roast.
honestly, if I was hungry enough and I saw like a nice cooked meal in front of me, I'd tear into that.
But
Like fuck, Manders, I'm hungry.
The leader pulls out a scimitar and actually starts carving the meat. Like it's not perfect, but he's cutting it into portions to serve everyone.
Samael just kind of very casually walks up, a little hesitant about how civilized these people are, and just like takes a plate. Goes back to the cart, very hesitant, like he's waiting for the other foot to drop.
Everyone's just
Looks around to see if Lefane is anywhere nearby.
She's probably
I imagine by now, she would have been done collecting the herbs and giving them to Granny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so Granny got twice the herbs.
Hell yeah.
Samael's just
Wait.
gonna make sure that he has eyesight on everybody. He just remembers that Lefane went off, so now that she's back, he just keeps an eye on everyone just to make sure. Like he's just waiting for the other foot to drop because he's like, these people are weirdly civilized for centaur bugs.
I just realized. The Sphinx that's cooking is like an oversized chicken. 12 herbs and spices, anyone?
I mean, it does taste like chicken, but a little gamey considering it was a vulture.
But no one liked the joke. Oh,
I got your joke.
you didn't laugh.
I just thought about it. Did they actually pluck all the feathers off, or are we going to deal with like little bits of pin feathers?
I mean, I think didn't like say they remove the hide, and I'm sure they would have removed the feathers too if they're being that thorough. Like maybe, like how about Lefane? Maybe if you're ever feeling sleepy, you can just gather up all the feathers and put them in a sack and use them as a pillow.
Actually, some of the elder females have gathered the feathers and are starting to like turn them into like arrows, ritual pieces, jewelry.
Yeah, what do I want to take from their materials?
Oh, like do you want them to make you something, or do you want to like see what they have?
So Samael is going to use his new ritual book to cast detect magic real quick. He's just curious as to what these like what's going on around here.
All right.
So I'm guessing we're all like I guess we're all just like we all have our own plates of meat and we're just like chowing down. Is that what we're all doing?
Yeah. There is no magic in this camp whatsoever.
So it's coming from us.
Well, like they don't have
So I'm
like they don't have like a shaman or a warlock.
Oh,
I'm guessing the only people that glow are us, essentially.
yeah, and also Quincy's case or the chest that you guys are bringing back to him.
All right, like Lafayette, are you still determined to get that thing open?
Samael seeing that is going to like kind of like tap Lafayette on the shoulder. You might want to be careful about that. I did a little spell just now, and that thing is glowing. What type of magic is it? I can learn what type of school it is generally, like whether it's like a damaging type of magic or stuff like that.
It seems to be the kind that enhances something. As
Is it the
well
chest or what's in the chest?
well, there's two types of magic. What's in the chest has an enhancing kind of magic. The chest itself has a some kind of like warding magic.
Lafayette, you may want to be a bit careful. Yeah, there's a piece of treasure in there that's magical, but the chest itself has some type of word on it.
Don't like this.
And unfortunately, I don't have the ability to dispel that.
Like Relicus is like, well, what are we waiting for? He grabs the mace and tries to slam it down, and it just breaks.
Oh.
I
But nah, he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you're doing it, I am going to flee out of that range as fast as
No,
I can.
I was just making Lord of the Rings reference. Don't worry.
Can Samael roll Arcana after using guidance on himself to see if he can figure out if there's any way to deactivate this ward?
Like I'm about to hit it, and like Lafayette is like ducking for cover, like it's a bomb.
Let's see. That is a 19 plus 2, so 21, and I'm going to also roll my guidance just in case, because you can never be too sure. So 23.
23. All right.
I get really good rolls when it doesn't matter.
The ward does seem to be on the lock itself, and if you do a successful lockpick, you can get past the ward.
So Samael is going to look over at Lafayette. How good are you with your lockpick?
Oh, I'm tempted to call that security, but that is a different game. What would lockpicking be under?
Sleight of hand.
Mm.
Unless you're actually using the tool itself, because I don't remember the exact rules for using tools, but I would normally go with sleight of hand, but that's up to Locke.
If you're not using a lockpick, then it is sleight of hand.
She doesn't have a lockpick and not particularly skilled at getting into locked, things, but
Samael has a +2.
Yeah, I've got a 2 as well, but
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that? If the problem's the lock, why don't we just take the hinges off?
Did Samael score high enough on his roll to figure out if that would work?
No, it wouldn't work.
Samael just kind of like gives a small chuckle. Unfortunately, I don't think that will work. However, I can help you open it, and I can use a little bit of magic to help you along.
Kenneth pokes his head out. I could give it a try.
Are you any good with locks?
I'm fairly decent.
Alright, well, come on over. I'll give you what little magic I have left. I'm a little tired, so I can't do too much.
Alright.
He's going to cast Guidance on Tenethel and then use the Help action, so advantage and a plus 1d4.
That came to a dirty 20. So, after a bit of tinkering and what felt like eternity, but in reality it was 15 minutes, Tanithil manages to get the lock picked with only with one of his arrows and a dagger.
Impressive.
Samael leans in to take a look at what's inside.
Inside, you see a mix of tools, parts, as well as a really strange kind of red powder in a glass jar.
That's the source of the magic.
Now, do you want me to take a look at that? I do. Now that I have my ritual book, I actually can use a couple of the spells that I otherwise couldn't.
Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Tanithil said as he moves out of the way.
So he's gonna lean down, take the vial and put it on the ground, and start using the ritual spell Identify to see what it is.
Right?
So for his version of magic, it's a lot of runes. He draws like a lot of rune shapes around it, so it takes about 10 minutes for him to finish, and he sits down in front of it and starts speaking in Celestial.
Alright, so after a good 10-15 minutes, you identify this as not the source of the magic. This is not the source of the magic.
Oh.
In fact, it is it's a type of spice.
Alright, so it seems that I grabbed the wrong damn thing. He picks it up and puts it and hands it to Tenethil. Give me another 10 minutes. he he just drags the whole fucking chest over this time. into the,
All that shape.
and uses Identify on it. Whatever's magic in it will be identified since there's only one thing inside.
After casting this spell once again, after another 15 minutes, it looks like one of the parts inside for a you don't know what it's for, is the source of the magic.
Do I learn what it does?
Um,
I learned how many charges it has and if it requires attunement and what type of magic it is.
okay, it is
And if the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. And if there are any spells affecting the item and what they are.
this item was made by dwarvish hands. It's infused with magic. It's not made from magic. And it's only one piece of a bigger item that has yet to be made. And it once put together and activated when it's basically for something that Quincy is currently in the process of making. So you don't know what it can do or how many charges it has.
Do I know what type of magic is like around it? Like, do I know if it's dangerous to, handle or anything?
It's not dangerous to handle at the moment, but it does have traces of elemental magic.
So he's going to reach into the chest and take that one piece out and just look at Tenethil. Hey mates, do you have any idea what this is?
No idea.
I've got a general idea.
Knowing Quincy, he probably needs it for something he's making.
He just turns it around in his hand. It's dwarven and it's a part of a bigger whole, but otherwise, I don't really know what it does. He just walks over to Tenethil, grabs his hand, and puts it in. Well, it's your burden now. And just goes back over to sit in front of the cart.
Tanithil goes and puts the stuff back in the chest and closes it.
So nothing but a bunch of doodads and spices.
Doodahs, doohickeys, and
And Gigmabobs.
Does that alleviate your fear, LaFane?
The fear, yes. There's another problem now.
He leans over and looks
what is
at
that?
LaFane. I kind
I
of forgot that
kinda
LaFane's the
know-
one who had the chest.
Yeah, it's like I kind of want to know what those spices taste like, but they're not ours. But I want to know.
Well, you can always ask.
Can-
You can always ask
can
Quincy if you could taste test them if we get back.
So does Samael see her like looking at the spices?
I think Tanithil put them all away.
Yeah, everything got put back in the box.
He was gonna help her get them. Too bad. All right. So that's it. That's all of Samuel's actions. He's just now gonna chill at the front of the cart eating his meal.
All right.
Kind of chilling and having a good time, I guess.
Yeah, the Militars are all just gathered around each other, laughing, having a merry old time. And soon the leader walks up to the cart. I do hope you enjoyed the feast.
The food was good, sir.
Do any of you have any questions for us?
Samael I imagine his head is just poking out from the side of the cart because he's leaning over to look at them all. Yeah, one question. Where the hell are you people from?
You're looking at it. This is our land ever since Waterdeep was first founded.
I am from Waterdeep. I have never heard of you. He just leans back and sits back and just continues eating.
We like to keep our privacy. And since no one from Waterdeep or any other neighboring towns has ever been a nuisance to us, we haven't been a nuisance to them.
Fair enough. He just goes back to like just munching on his food and feeding Snow the leftovers.
Although, I have heard rumors.
There's rumors.
And those would be
That a tenacious party is out trying to stop a cult.
What know
Ah.
anything about?
no idea what you're talking about.
If you want, I could give you some information on the dragons.
Well, as a side note, that would be rather interesting.
But that's only if you guys really want the info. I mean, I'm not gonna force them onto you.
Looks over at Tenethel and just shrugs, leaving it up to him.
I mean, at least knowing some bit about them would be helpful.
Tell us the knowledge.
He sits down. It's like, I do know the names of the dragon generals. The blue dragon,
Haven't we seen? Oh yeah, we saw him at the attack on Greenus, didn't we?
I believe so. His name is Raijin.
Raijin.
Another thing you should know is each dragon has a co-leader under them.
So we're just talking about it all now? I thought we learned more about it the more we went on.
He doesn't know the names or who the leaders are. He just knows the dragons.
Okay, so we're just talking about the dragons then, or are we only going to name drop the blue one?
Well, I think you already met the blue one. That's why that sparked, a memory for you guys. Samael never met him though.
True. Except, well, you did see him though, didn't you? See him when we were on the way to Baldur's Gate when we saw him flying overhead.
And sent Samael into a panic. Yes, but Samael still didn't meet him. So Samael is just gonna look at the leader. Oh well, don't leave us in suspense.
The the black dragon, definitely one you want to steer clear from at all times. His name is Stygian.
Okay.
The green dragon is Chirthalus. The white one is...
Wait. We lock. You're going over the names?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I know we wrote them down. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, let me see. Okay, the black one is... We named... I helped you with this. The black one you named Stygian. The green one you named Chirthalas. The white one was named Zwazin. The blue one was Raijin, and the red one was Adareth.
So when the the boss bug centaur mentions the white one, he's gonna look at Snow. That wouldn't happen to be your parents, would it?
She shakes her head.
Up and down, or left to right?
Shake means no, nod means yes, so no.
I feel like this conversation has gotten lost right now. Okay, wait. What led to the conversation turning to this? My mind is drawing a blank.
The leader asked if you guys wanted to know any information on the dragons. And since no one piped up, the leader just said, "I'll just tell you their names."
Well, that's still good.
All right.
I think. What's the time in game?
In game, the sun has just now set, so it's like 10-ish.
Hold on.
I got a burp stuck in my chest. It won't come out. Damn it.
Well, we lost Sam.
Sam's dead.
You.
I Granny's going to say, it's getting late. We should probably get espresso to the town as soon as we can.
I wouldn't
Alright.
recommend traveling this late.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea, now that I think about it.
You guys get some rest. We have guards patrolling the area, so don't worry.
Cool.
He then went off, grabbed his daughter, and they went to their little nest area, curled up, and went to sleep.
Granny is also going to get to sleep. She's sleepy. What is everyone else going to do? Everyone's dead.
Tanithil is going to sleep.
I'm gonna say like I get all prepped up like I'm going to bed and everything, but I'm staying awake all night.
Sleep is for the weak. And I am the weak. I need the sleep. Everyone else is dead.
Is the rest of you going to sleep?
I think that might be a
Yeah,
yes.
I'll head to bed.
All right.
Luffy,
Hmm?
Sleep.
You heading to bed?
She's
She's staying awake.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's staying awake all night, making just in case something happens.
Sleep takes over. You fall into slumber, and the night drags on as you drift into peaceful dreams.
I dream
Um,
about dancing burrito.
morning
But then
comes. Morning comes. First lights hit your faces as you are forced awake by the day.
Have 5 more minutes.
Tanithil is, of course, the first awake. Make sure everything is situated, tied down, ready to go. And while the rest of you are still sleeping, he thanks the Militars for their hospitality and wisdom, and heads on out.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. Alright, we're on our way back. We need to get to Quincy. Maybe call a doctor. Maybe, I don't know.
You guys, as the rest of you start to wake up, you guys are waking up to the cart moving.
Oh, good. We're on the way already. We're making great time.
I thought I'd let you guys sleep in and I get a head start on heading back to Quincy's.
Well, thanks.
It's like, oh, if we're gonna be like on our way back, it's like, all right, now I'm gonna sleep.
Oh, hey, Locke, by the way, found the rest of the notes you misplaced about the dragons. Found them.
All right. By the time all of you are awake, except for Sam, he decided to sleep in. You guys finally make it back to Baldur's Gate and head back to Quincy's. As you guys arrive at Quincy's with the chest of his stuff, you guys see someone get thrown out of the tavern.
Can I roll to see if it's anyone we recognize?
No, because it's no one you recognize. It's just
It's just some guy.
some guy who is
just some random schmuck.
It's just some random Joe.
Some random schmuck who
Got too drunk.
too drunk and decided to insult Quincy.
Oh, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Quincy is dusting off his hands, even though he
Granny,
sees you and is like, you've made it back. Come on in.
Granny will. I assume someone will get the chest, and I can get Goliath. I forget his name again.
Espresso.
Espresso. I'll remember it. Unless it's
So
not
yeah,
important.
so I guess I'll help Granny get espresso into the bar.
Yeah.
All right. Quincy sees him and is like, so that's what happened.
He's alive, but he's not in a good way.
Yeah, to sum it up, his arm got bitten off by a sphinx.
Yeesh. Well, set him down on the table. I'll go get my supplies. He then
Okay.
heads into the back of the tavern. Meanwhile,
Plop him on the table.
several floating hands float in with breakfast and coffee and tea.
Food, I'm starving.
I think since we can't see Barry, I'm gonna guess he's just in his room asleep.
Yeah, he's an old man. He needs to sleep. Soon after, Quincy comes back out. Looks at the chest, and then looks at the party leaning on said chest. So, who opened it?
Granny's gonna point to Tanaphil and Samuel.
And I also like Religus's like rat also points at LaFane.
I'm napping in the cart. What are you talking about?
So then, Quincy then looks at Tanathil, raised eyebrow. Tanathil's all like, "Hey, they were curious." He just has his hands up, backing up, like Jack Frost did in
Just like, hey man, cool, chill.
Rise of the
chill.
Guardians.
Hey man, it's all chill. We all friends.
He then just to double check, because he is a very cautious being, he opens the chest to look through it. Good, nothing's been taken. All right. Now then, he then has his mage hands take the chest away. It takes several mage hands to float it off. Now, as promised.
Someone just joined.
Yeah, Sam came back. Welcome
Oh.
back, Sam.
Sam returns from the grave.
I don't know what's wrong with my internet, but I had to use my mobile hotspot.
I just said that you slept in, that your character just decided to sleep in on the cart ride.
Like the way Sam returns is like he just busts through the bar door. I'm awake.
Yeah, Sam, you woke
Right
up
now, Quincy is upset. Well, yeah, right now Quincy's upset because he notices that you guys opened the chest.
Samael is completely unapologetic.
Sam, welcome back. Now then, I was just about to explain to you about what I found for you guys.
Oh, you mean that little dwarven doodad?
No, not that. I found something on the cult for you guys.
Juice.
It seems like they, along with several Red Wizards of Thay, are building up a caravan and heading to Waterdeep.
So we ambush them?
More like you're gonna act as their guards and get info.
Ooh, espionage.
Samael slowly looks at where Gunga's probably sleeping, then looks over at Steve, then looks over at Ari, then looks back at him.
Then looks at where he thinks Barry would. Then looks at where he thinks Barry would be.
So, do you want me to slit my wrists now, or do you want me to wait for the cult to do it?
Oh, okay. Whoa. Let's not. It's try not to mention something like that. I wrote figures.
Regardless, do you want the cult to kill me now or later?
You gotta be more positive, Sam.
I mean,
Looks at Granny.
Religus is like, I mean, he does have a point, though. I mean, we do stand out like a sore thumb.
And I think subtle is a foreign language to at least half of us.
Well, half of us also aren't in this call, so we got a chance.
In character, though, they're all around. That's the point, though.
Like they're just sitting in the back room, just like static, like
Just like a pose.
like they're cardboard cutouts. Like every time someone isn't here, the character is just a cardboard cutout in the background.
Oh, if this ever gets animated, we need them in the background, puppeted around like South Park characters.
Yeah, like two of them are we're making like at one point like as a joke, one of us is holding two of them. We're just like fight, kiss.
Fight, kill, fight.
I just love that. Like every time someone isn't here, it's just the character they're playing. It's just a cardboard cutout.
So Samael, looking at all of them, just looks back at him. Do you see my point?
Hey, we're the band of misfits. We get shit done. But in retrospect, we are also not the most subtle at it.
Exactly.
Do you guys want to? Do you guys so? I don't think we could take on the caravan because I don't think it would be wise to attack the caravan because that would probably just alert the cult to us again.
Yeah, so I think we should do what Quincy suggests and espionage and get info.
Or if not, at least somehow manage to stow away as they head to Waterdeep.
I mean, if we tie up Barry and Steve and lock them in the closet before we go, we might be able to do this.
Oh, they'll be back. You can't get. They're like magnets.
Looks at Steve. You say your name so often that I'm pretty sure it's the main staple of your language.
Wait, it is okay. I also have disguise. He puts on the fucking mustache.
Deep, almost painful sighs from Samael. Looks over at Quincy.
Hello, I will be. Hello, I am just a simple merchant. I am a suck store.
Looks over at Tenethel and then looks over at Quincy. Do I have to explain anything else?
Yes, I'll admit, he is an idiot.
Hey!
Shut up.
Okay.
But I already got you the gig as the caravan's guards.
Oh, we're already in.
How the heck did you pull that off?
Don't question it.
I call it into question, DM. Tell us.
Samael just holds his face in his hands. All right, but
Like,
Timothy,
we're all gonna die.
all right, Quincy, you're helping me tie at least 3 of these people up and we're leaving them here in the closet.
Yeah, I don't think it'll
Specifically
work.
Barry.
I don't think it'll work.
Very preferably Steve also. He would be the first to give us away.
Exactly.
Steve also needs to stay.
And we're making a muzzle for Gunga.
No, I have a feeling you won't be able to get rid of Steve or Barry that easily, but we'll see.
Actually, the caravan was kind of excited to have a bugbear on their team.
Also,
It's not so much leaving him. It's so much as we just make sure he doesn't mention anything he's not supposed to.
You should take into account Steve is a Dragonborn, so
it's not so much what he is, it's so much his how he acts and his personality will give us away.
Another thing you need to know is the travel from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep is 2 months.
2 months.
Oh shit! We better pack a lot of snacks.
Oh man, that's a while. That's a while.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need snacks.
Pack for the road.
Yeah.
Samael just kind of like scratches his head a little bit. Well, who's going to be handling the cult down south then?
Do you want to do 2 birds with 1 stone, or shouldn't we tackle it one at a time? Should we tackle it different places at a time?
It is a recipe for disaster.
I mean, we could just unleash Steve and Barry on them.
Yeah, Steve and Barry can do the ones down south. I don't know what down south ones they're talking about though.
The town and everything, because essentially we're going up north.
Which town? Wait, which town?
The town we just came from, Greenhurst, was it called?
I think we already cleared all that out, didn't we, Locke?
Oh yeah, that's taken care of.
Yeah, that's all cleaned out.
Wasn't there still a shit ton of cultists in the area? We just sent them out on a scavenger hunt and then killed a couple of their guards. But shouldn't there should be a bunch of Dragonborn still down there?
Let's ask Locke. Locke, what do you say? Or what do you think?
I think we cleared it all out.
I'm pretty sure you guys got it. Everything.
Did the Dragonborn that were a part of that cult just start going up north then?
I'm guessing so. I mean, maybe they were recalled back. I guess one explanation. I think it is even mentioned that we do beat them in chapter 1. So maybe the cult, like the leaders of the cult, called any remaining stragglers back, and so told them to leave it.
Alrighty.
I mean, the blue dragon was in charge of that sect, so he is heading north. So maybe he called them in to join them. Called them all to join.
All right. Well, Samael doesn't have any more objections then, other than making sure that those 2 stay behind, because they're going to give them away.
I know for how much you want to bet. Even though you tie them up, they'll still somehow be in the next chapter.
Oh yeah, after we're done doing the espionage thing for the caravan, they'll absolutely be back.
Like it's just like, okay, I think we're in the clear. Hello.
I'm just imagining a scene of the entire party pinning them both down and tying them up while they're both kicking and yelling.
Steve, mostly. I don't think you'll be able to tie up Barry since he'll be hiding in his shell.
They're just taping up the shell at this point.
Hey, at least we could at least agree they're not as bad as Nick Smix or Naquack.
Oh my god. Alright, so Samael is just gonna look at him. Oh, well, other than that, I don't have any objections.
Granted, Barry has been more reliable than Steve, because he can't put up a fight.
Yeah, but it's not
Have
really
you-
their fighting it's not really their fighting is the reason. It's not really the reason we're leaving them. It's the way their personalities and the way they talk is just a dead giveaway.
That is, unless Gunga does a wild magic thing and gets the whole talking in proper English again.
I don't know. Bugbear. I think Biggleda could probably. I mean, he's dumb, but like statistically, he has pretty average intelligence.
That is true. He doesn't have like a 10.
He's like a 10.
So even though he speaks a very broken common, he probably won't give us away.
Yeah, my headcanon is that he has actually pretty decent intelligence, but just the way he was lived, he was raised, he doesn't know any better. That's
The
my
funny thing the funny thing is in Goblinese he speaks like with a perfect, like crisp, noble accent.
Oh, Pip Pip and Terrio.
One of these days, Samael's gonna learn comprehend language and is just gonna have his mind blown.
Alright.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Alright, the caravan leaves first thing tomorrow morning.
So, do we still want to talk about it, or are we just gonna, or have we all decided to go to be guards on the caravan?
Samael does want to see if he can upgrade his daggers before he goes. We don't have to roleplay the shopping. If he's just going around like looking at the prices.
I mean, we got about 16 minutes left before we gotta end this recording. So
That's why I said
So,
we don't have to roleplay it. I just wanted to know like about how much it would cost to upgrade his daggers to +2.
I mean, yeah, we don't know how long it'll take. It'll help fill in the time, but yeah, whatever. Ooh, we could go with that anyway.
So you go to the to the smithy. She tells you that it's about 5 silver for each dagger to upgrade.
Oh well, that's easy enough. He gives her 2 gold pieces as a bonus.
Thank you. And she gets started on them immediately, and they should be done by that.
All right, remove the gold, add the daggers. Alrighty. Otherwise, he just looks at the party. Do you all need anything else?
Nothing that I can think of.
We're saying this is a little bit later, so maybe my character's awake by now.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm probably gonna be running around town, getting things like from experience. Now, I'm getting us like a med kit or 5 and a bunch of potions.
I guess
Speaking of which,
I guess we should stock up on snacks.
Speaking of which, Samael is going to see if he can find any sort of like wizards meeting place, any libraries or anything like that. He might as well see if he can add anything to his book.
Long-term travel supplies would actually.
If he can find Tiny Hut, that'd be far more useful than any travel supplies he could get for the party. Tiny Hut is a spell that creates a basically force dome around the campsite, meaning that we're generally speaking pretty safe inside, and we can't be spied on or attacked. And it is a ritual.
Okay.
That's why he's going to look for a library or other type of like Wizards Association or anything like that. See if he can acquire that spell.
Got it.
5 minutes. After about a few minutes of wandering around, you do manage to find a library.
He's going to walk inside, kind of straighten his clothes as he walks in. They're a little ripped and torn, but he's done his best to repair them. He doesn't have the spell mending, so he just literally has to sew, and he's bad at it. He just walks in and kind of looks around for the librarian.
They are currently sitting at a big oval desk in the center of the entranceway.
He walks over. Excuse me, do you have a moment?
How can I help you?
Well, I'm currently looking for arcane tomes, specifically any spell, if you're lucky enough to own one. Do you happen to have any spell books or anything similar?
Upstairs, third and fourth aisle.
I thank you very kindly. He nods and kind of just walks and heads up towards that direction, and sees if he can find any.
They a matter of wizard and source, like any kind of magic book you can think of, they have it.
So specifically, he's going to look for any books that hold spells associated with travel, such as Tiny Hut and things like that.
You managed to find one called the Wizarding Guide to Travel.
All right. So so I'm guessing he does find Tiny Hut in there.
Yes.
All right. Let's see what else could is associated with travel. I'm currently looking at the options right now. Is comprehend languages in there?
Yeah, but it's like in the very, very back of the book.
All right. With those two, I think he's got everything he can get for the party at the moment. Otherwise, that's about it. He just he closes the book, kind of like nods, like that's about as good as he can do for everyone, and starts making his way back.
Anyone else?
I'm just picking up supplies and such, but
Yeah, like
if
Relic is doing the same.
yeah, it's like, but if there is an armor out here, I would kind of like to get my leather armor upgraded.
Yeah, maybe I can get my breastplate upgraded too, so I can have a higher armor class.
There is a armorer which is right next to the smithy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll go in there.
Right? You walk in and you see a disgruntled, almost a balding, big bearded dwarven woman.
Hello.
No,
No, don't worry, Steve's not there.
I know, but it's just like no.
She looks at you guys and with the straightest face leans against the counter and goes, "How can I help you?"
We're looking to get our armor upgraded so we can have a higher armor class.
"Oh, of course. What kind of armor do you guys have?"
I got a breastplate.
It's like,
All right.
leather armor for myself.
And what kind of upgrades were you looking for specifically?
I guess just enhancements on the armor and make it like stronger. Well, for me.
Okay. And you, dear?
I'd rather something that would help with not getting hit in the first place.
All right. What kind of armor do you prefer? Leather, scale mail, chainmail, plate?
Who are you asking?
Both of you.
I don't really have a preference, just as long as it can protect me.
I tend towards the leather and natural materials myself.
All right. If that's all, that'll be 5 gold total.
All right, from both. Like from both of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 gold.
All right.
So she then takes your armor. So you guys are now currently only at 10 armor class plus your Constitution modifier. That's what your armor class is like without your armor.
So my currently my armor class is now 18. It's currently 18. So what
Without
would the
armor?
enhancement do to it? No, with I forgot. I think without the armor it was 16.
Okay.
So with the enhancement, what would it be now?
19.
19. Okay.
And Jezzy, what was your armor class originally?
I'm not sure if it's looking at what I have everything on, it's listing my armor class as 13.
All right, then yours will be brought up to 15.
Okay.
So there is one item that Samuel has been looking for this whole time. It still is. Does he spot any boots of Elvenkind on his way back to the party?
Yeah, you do spot them in a boutique window.
What are boots of Elvenkind?
They give you advantage on stealth checks as they make your movement silent. Basically, they remove any sound from your movements. That's it. Does he see a price tag on them?
Yes, you do.
How much?
20 platinum.
How many?
20 platinum.
So that's 200 gold.
Mm-hmm.
He walks in, and can I roll persuasion to see if he can haggle it down just a little bit? He has the amount, but it's just a lot.
You can try.
You can try. And it actually is a drow woman in the boutique this time.
He not walks in and knocks on the door. Oh, hello.
She looks at him. How can I help you?
Oh, well, I was just catching an eye of those beautiful boots you have there. I was wondering if you're willing. I was wondering if you're willing to knock a little bit off the price. I could pay you 150 gold right now for it. Lock?
It said roll persuasion.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Persuasion. So that is a 19.
She winces a bit and is like debating, but then she's like, "Fine, you can have the boots for 150."
He puts down 160 because she's a good sport.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Thank you very much. The boots are now yours. Do take care of them.
Well, I'll do my best. I hope they save my hide. But I thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I hope I'll be back at your shop one day. Have a nice day.
You have a nice day too. And with that, we are going to end this session here. And we're going to go on our break.
Okay then.
Au revoir, everybody. Bye bye.
Farewell.
Bye.